With school boards and conservative groups pushing for book bans in record numbers, we can't overlook the role of state leaders who are shaping what children learn in school. Just this week, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis addressed his, quote, Stop Woke Act, which restricts race-based conversations in businesses and in school, and offered this up.
It was the American Revolution that caused people to question slavery. No one had questioned it before we decided as Americans that we are endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights and that we are all created equal. Then that birthed abolition movements. So you can't teach history that's being used to pursue an ideological agenda.
Back with me, Van Jones, David Swerdlick, and Scott Jennings. Van.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Had the same reaction. Slavery didn't end, and technically, till 1865, 1776. That's almost a.
Well, first of all, you know, you reveal a lot when you're speaking about stuff you don't know anything about. So he says nobody questioned slavery until, you know who questioned it? The enslaved people.
Slaves.
The enslaved people questioned it the whole time, and that's the thing. It's like you have a worldview that so centers and so privileges a particular ideological agenda, a particular set of people, that you say things that are just patently ridiculous. And he's a governor of a state, and there are kids in that state of all colors, all faiths, all hues, and he has to do a better job of representing all of them. And also, the reality is, kids aren't stupid. I've got a couple of them. You try to get them to believe something. Try to get them to believe something. They push back, they fight back, they think they have their own points of view. The idea that if you present an idea to a kid, the kid is just gonna swallow it whole. It's just not true. It's not true about kids, it's not true about human beings. But what's dangerous is when you don't let young people discuss the world around them and you give them no prompt and no cues. And so I understand. He's concerned that there are some people here who are anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-white, those people are a problem, but the way you deal with those things is that you talk about it. When you don't talk about it, you're not able to address it. I was very offended, and you know, I try to put up with a bunch of stuff, but for him to say that nobody criticized slavery until the slave-holding American fathers, founding fathers, decided to raise it, and not all of them did, disqualifies 200 years of African people who were enslaved, criticizing it the whole time.
Who have been railing against it. The state has banned, I think it's the second highest number of banned books in this state. Is this a winning tactic? I mean, if you will, this is just strictly politically.
I think what you're seeing some Republican office holders respond to is the concern they're hearing from some parents about some certain kinds of topics, materials, books, whatever you want to call it, being introduced to their children, and they don't agree with it. I mean, at its core, you have parents who don't want very, very young children being talked to about, you know, say, sexualized material by people other than them. And so I think that's at the root of the tactic. Whether it goes too far in certain instances and whether people are able to discern between, you know, who can handle what, I mean, I think that's the debate we're going to have. But
Scott,
sure.
Do you see a difference between the sexualized material, the gender conversation, multiple genders, et cetera, versus American history, slavery, that kind of thing? I just wonder how you see it.
Oh, yeah. I think in this debate and in this conversation, all these things get lumped together.
Absolutely.
And so, but there's no doubt Republican office holders are hearing daily from parents who have grown quite concerned about this. So they're, you know, as a tactical matter, they're responding to that. And you know, I've got a few of them myself, and I've talked to a lot of parents at schools, and one of the core things I hear from parents is, you know, why are the schools spending so much time on topics that aren't sort of the core, you know, learning curriculum that I grew up with? See, that's what they're responding to, and let me tell you, it is a rising sentiment in the Republican Party, and I expect it will be a major topic over the next 2 to 4 years.
It's definitely a rising sentiment, but it also has been pushed. I mean, there's no doubt that this has been something, I think we heard it from a couple of different sort of leaders in the Republican Party who purposely targeted school boards in particular, and said this is the next bastion of where our fight needs to go. So what do you think about using schools as a political battleground.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Sarah. At some point, Republicans decided that making the whole country the town in the movie Footloose was going to be a political winner. And so far, it has won in some places. It worked for Governor Youngkin in Virginia last year, caught Democrats off guard. And I think until it doesn't work, and especially for someone like Governor DeSantis who wants to be president, they're going to keep doing it. I agree with Scott that parents do sometimes say, look, at the elementary school level, we should focus on reading, writing, arithmetic. Maybe it's not the time to focus on social justice issues if that's what they think is going on. I don't think that's always really what they think is what's going on. On the other hand, once you get to middle school, high school, to Van's point, we had slavery and segregation in this country. We had Japanese internment and the Zoot Suit riots in the World War II era. These things happened. We fought a civil war over slavery. To shield students at a certain age from those facts, from those realities, who benefited, who suffered, what happened, how we got where we are now, is not educating kids. And I think that message has gotten lost in this whole debate.
I want to ask you about this video that has gone viral. It's a TikTok video of a teacher telling a student to stand up, I think, for the Pledge of Allegiance. Let's watch it.
I'll defend my country to the very end. Then go back to where you're from, Mexico or Guatemala, where you're born here, and you won't stand up for the flag.
So the teacher says, "Where are you from? Why won't you stand up for the flag?" But then he starts asking him where he's from. You can hear kind of a student kind of giggling in the background. The school district had a statement saying that the teacher no longer has contact with students. It's in Manatee County in Florida, strongly condemning any language or behavior that degrades, humiliates, or insults students. And the concern was that he was trying to say that the student was from somewhere else or wasn't American. What are your thoughts? I'll start with you, Scott. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that if teachers want to address something with a student regarding any kind of behavior that they don't like or some disagreement they're having in the classroom, it's best to do that in private, and it's best to do that in a respectful manner.
So not to shame them in front of other students.
I mean, look, I understand why he was relieved, because anytime you start to talk to people like that, A, that's bad, but B, when you start to do it in front of others, makes it even worse. And so, I was raised to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I certainly would. But
Yes.
Again, I just think the interactions between teachers and students in front of other people, I mean, kids are vulnerable, they're nervous, and they're easily, it's embarrassing to be called out by an adult like that in a setting like that. So I think handling things privately and thinking through your interaction carefully is vital.
All right. Van Jones, David Swerdlick, Scott Jennings, thank you guys so much.